I was born in the Canary Islands, Tenerife, and I lived in London for about 19 years. And I'm walking all around Europe. I'm doing a walk for peace. So I started walking from London in 2017. And I walked all the way from London to the whole of the British Isles, and then Western Europe, Central Europe, Northern Europe. Then I went to London for Christmas, and I had to have a break because of a problem that I had on my neck. And I started again from Helsinki, where I stopped and I left my chariot. And I carried on from Estonia, and I'm all the way here, and I'm walking all the way to Athens. Then from Athens I will walk all the way to Rome, and then from Rome I will walk all the way to Amsterdam, and then London. So I've covered already almost 10,500 kilometers, and so I'm doing a walk for peace, just to promote peace around Europe, and also to get all these issues about the environment. I'm vegan, so just to sort of look after the environment and the consumption that we do, and also how people are interacting with each other, communities, the political situations going on in Europe with Brexit and the rise of fascism and nationalism. And I thought I had to do something. I mean, it took me a couple of years. And when I arrived here, I was told of the issue that you had with the trees, that the council wants to cut them down, and I think it's an absurd idea. It will be a waste of a beautiful trees. They look very healthy. They look like they've been there for a long time, and I think it's important to look after the trees, especially in cities. If there's anything that needs to be done in cities with the climate emergency we have at the moment, is to have more trees rather than cut them down. And I also have seen the trees that have been planted there 15 years ago, and they look like they haven't really grown that much. They don't look that strong and healthy. So I'm using this opportunity to support the cause here, to try to stop the council to kill all these trees, because you need in cities as many trees as possible to clean the air, to take all the CO2 and then convert into oxygen. It's important to have nature and respect nature. And also I've been told about the situation happening in Lithuania with companies coming and destroying whole forests to sell, like IKEA and things like this. And I think we cannot afford that anymore. So I'm here to, I came at the right time. So I was just telling them that there was an issue in Sheffield. It's a city in England, and the council wanted to cut down. It's the greenest city in Europe, and the council, that was in 2007. I mean, since 2012, they wanted to cut down 22,000 trees in the city, and then the people actually started to rebel against it. They also did like they did here. They changed themselves to the trees, and they reduced the amount, and then they wanted to cut 6,000 trees, and then the people actually started to go on social media and make a big fuss about it, because they realized that the trees are important for the city. And then the council actually started to see that it was important to keep them, and then people started to hold politicians accountable for that. So there was like a whole situation. But there are also other cities that are taking on green initiatives, like putting more trees and putting plants around the roofs of the houses. So why not using creativity and using young people that are doing design and landscape design to do something more beneficial for the city, rather than just cut them all down and put a new one in? It doesn't make sense. There's no logical. You can keep the trees, and then you can, if you want to change. I mean, I think this is fine, but some people I would like to have it more fancy. They could keep the trees. They look pretty straight and healthy, and then they could just change the surface, and even plant more trees to make the city greener. And then if you create a beautiful project, you might actually be the city that has challenged this situation and give opportunities to other cities to learn from here. So there could be an opportunity for this town to be like, hey, we did this, you can do that too. So it could be like an inspiration for other cities in Europe, rather than just cut. And I just think it doesn't make any sense. It's not good for the environment and for the people in the city. I follow the Baltic Way, and it was the 30th anniversary, and I was walking through and I had like 150 cars, with different flags, and they're all honking, and I'm like, hey, hey, hey. I was like, wow, I'm happy that sometimes I'm in the right place at the right time. Just like life guides me there. I didn't know there was an anniversary, and I thought it was very important. So So this beautiful thing that happened here, like 2 million people joined together, I didn't know about that. So then I thought, okay, I have to share that in social media and Instagram and Facebook. And people were like, wow, that's amazing. I said, of course, things happen. We just need to share them. And I'm happy that I can use my work to share that. Like here now, with the issues with the trees and how that connects to the place in Sheffield in England, which is here, which is the greenest town in Europe, and they wanted to cut, here, this is the town. So, and I went through there, and then at the time that I was walking through there, the council wanted to cut 6,000 trees, and I'm like, and the connection now, I'm surprised that always like one thing connects to another.